In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and pink beetles.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of On the Bluff. I'm your host, Christian Fowler. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Gabe Kuhn, our producer, Kenny Stubblefield. Boys, how we doing tonight?
Doing well, brother. Doing well. How about you?
I'm good. No complaints.
I'm doing great. That's all I got.
Okay. Why are you talking like that, man?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Can we mute Kenny's mic? Can we get that muted? We need to, you know.
As the producer, I can concur.
Damn.
Guess what came back this weekend, boys?
What?
Crawfish bowls.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Hey, my daughter saw like 4 stands heading down the street, and she was like, "I want one." And this is what my wife said. And if this is blasphemy, let me know. She told her, she's like, it's a lot of hard work for not a lot of payoff.
I've told y'all many times. I'm telling myself once again, I eat the sides way more. Like I eat 5 to 10 crawfish maybe, and then I'm sausage, potatoes, corn, all that stuff.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge crawfish guy. Just not.
I'm definitely more on everything else. Like
I like the vibe. I like the vibe of a
exactly.
Crawfish.
That's what it is. It brings everybody together. It means good weather. Like it's all about what's happening around it. It's not necessarily about that. But we had the first one of the year on Saturday.
You had one, or you have one?
No, we had one on Saturday. We went
already. Wow.
Yeah, we went and played 18 on Saturday morning. It felt awesome outside, and then straight to the crawfish bowl.
You are 1,000% a Mississippi married man now. Like that is do you know what I'm saying, Gabe? Like,
I've done this. I've done this for a long time.
I bet you wore a polo and some Birkenstocks, didn't you? Like the whole.
No, I think this was shorts, tee, and some type of open toe shoe. Probably.
I was in tennis shoes.
Oh, okay. Birkenstocks were a decent guess, though.
Yeah.
They were. Hey, I have some. I wear them, but I did not on
This man
Saturday.
said I played 18 and had a crawfish boil. That man is without a doubt.
There was a lot of calf tats at that crawfish boil for sure.
There was. Yeah, I mean,
you just know there was calf tats.
between me and Michael, it's bad. Me and Michael always make the joke: we cannot walk next to each other in public.
People think y'all are.
Yeah.
Bit of life update. Taylor and I are house hunting. Just put an offer in on a home. New home.
You're pregnant again. I was like, Gabe, give your
Oh
wife.
well,
Hey,
hopefully, God willing, one day. Here soon.
Shout out to you. House. Hey,
So
man.
put
there's
an
a house.
offer in.
There's a house right next door to me if you want to come move.
I'll
in.
be. The one we've thrown an offer in on is not that far from you.
What?
Not that far from you,
Bro, me and Gabe are gonna tear a car evil up.
Oh,
man. Y'all don't even know.
buddy. Let me just give you if I get this house, Kenny, you better learn to golf. Let's just put it that way.
I'm so there. Are you gonna join Memphis National? That's the
well,
question.
listen, just learn. We'll talk about that when we cross that bridge. All right. And honestly, I hear Memphis National. They got some good rates, brother. It's like $200 a month.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. It really
Not
is
bad.
not bad at all.
You want to
It's
hear a
not
funny
bad.
story? So, it's a funny story about me growing up. I had like, by the time I was 18 years old, I had like 35 jobs. Like I worked from the time I was 14 to the time I was 18 and went from job. I had 2 jobs at a time, that kind of stuff. One of them was at Memphis National. I worked at the I was one of the groundskeepers. I would come out early in the morning and have to do the grounds work. And I got fired like 2 weeks in because I would get there, I would get my job. My job was normally going and like weed eating the bunkers. I would weed eat bunkers, and then I would go find the farthest spot possible away from the shed, and I would just go sleep up underneath the tree for like 3 hours. And one day I was up underneath the tree snoring my ass off. And all of a sudden I get woken up by my boss who's sitting there in a golf cart, and he's like, pack your shit and get out of here. I was like, yep, all right.
Okay. I'm out.
Why was that part of your like day plan while you were working there?
I was a
Figure that out.
lazy asshole. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. All right. I was gonna say 35 jobs in that amount of time. I was like, that means that means you didn't
Gabe,
stick
have
very
you,
long in any one of them.
have you ever seen younger pictures of Kenny from like 18 to 30?
No, I have not. Honestly.
Okay,
I need
there's
to.
only one
Actually
job.
no. I think I like his house when we used to go record over.
Yeah.
In the attic. You know? I think I remember a couple. Maybe there's a couple of pictures on the wall, but not really.
There's only one job that I can imagine that age Kenny having, and it's like it's like being a waiter. Like that's all I can see. He looked like Kevin Federline. You did. You can't even deny it.
I did.
You think he'd get some good tips?
No, I was terrible at waiting.
So this is more like Outback Steakhouse, not like Houston's. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, no.
Like, we're
It's like-
talking.
He's like the guy that started off at fine dining but couldn't make it and then had to go to the chain.
No, you know, my first I was a waiter at CC's Pizza out in Carryville for a while. Yeah.
That tracks.
That tracks, doesn't it? Yeah.
What does a waiter at CC's Pizza really do?
Exactly.
I'm not really taking your order, you know?
No.
Like, all right, I'm assuming you guys want a shit ton of pizza. Here are your,
Yeah.
your plates are up there. What do you want to drink?
Speaking of,
And doesn't CC's just give you the cup to go fill it up yourself?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what I did. Honestly, I was just there.
He was picking up trash off the table.
Damn, you were a glorified busboy.
Busboy.
That's exactly. I was called a waiter, but I literally just walked around and sprayed tables and cleaned them off. That's what I did. Yeah. Man, yeah, dude. I have some stories about some jobs. Waiting tables. Did any of y'all ever wait tables? Were y'all ever?
No, I didn't have many jobs with sports, but then one job I did have, I laid residential driveways. So I did concrete work with one of my dad's buddies out in St. Louis. And those were some tough days, man. We would demo and then pour the mix. And
Hardest job you've ever had? Was that the hardest job?
oh,
It has to be.
I mean, college football player, that's tough.
That's,
but yeah, like yes, 100%. Now I just
that,
sit on
that
my
wasn't
ass
a
for 3
job.
hours a day and
You
talk
didn't get
shit.
you didn't get paid for that then, so it wasn't technically a job.
What do you mean?
Hardest job I ever had was building pools. I built swimming pools for Memphis Pools for a while.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
I mean, listen, I will say laying residential driveways compared to what I do now, sitting on my ass for 3 hours and talking into a microphone, this job I have now is better.
You've come a long way.
Yeah,
You've come
for
a long
sure.
way.
For sure.
All right, boys. Well, let's jump into it. We get to talk about our favorite topic of the entire year, which is Memphis basketball. It's been a joy to talk about this year. They have lost their 6th straight game.
3 weeks. 3 weeks of no winning. February 8th was their last win.
That's crazy. East Carolina this time in a terrible effort, to say the least. It didn't look like anybody really cared to be there. East Carolina, don't know if you checked, not a very good team, but they whacked Memphis. Like that's where we're at, which is it is such a fall from grace. Like I know we've talked about this season in a vacuum a lot, just about how bad this season has been. But when you compare it to most of Penny's tenure as a coach, this is crazy. Like they're what, 9th in the American right now?
Yeah, they're at risk because of that ECU loss of falling out of the American tournament. Let's put that into perspective.
You can
crazy.
say
Top 10 make it. They could drop behind either East Carolina or Rice, and that is within the possibilities because they probably will. Not like maybe. I think they will lose these last 2 games of the year. Tulane and South Florida.
Like, because East Carolina has the tiebreaker. So if East Carolina wins, like if they win both of their games, or if they win
one game and the Tigers
game.
lose both, which I quite frankly expect.
Right.
East Carolina would get in.
Yeah. I was looking at it as you were talking.
I can't help but laugh through the pain, brother. This is horrid.
Like
It's so terrible.
Seeing Memphis be 12-17 if they were in like the Big 10 or the Big 12 or the SEC would be crazy. Can we all agree? Like we saw Memphis at 12-17, even in a major conference, it'd be like, whew, that's rough. But in a conference that consists of these teams, and for these teams to be ahead of them, South Florida, Wichita State, Tulsa, UAB, Charlotte, FAU, Tulane, and North Texas, and they're tied with
You know what that does, guys? That really chaps my you know what.
I bet it does.
It's hard to hear. And listen, man, we can continue. We had the conversation last week about Penny Hardaway and his future, so I don't think we need to keep rehashing that. But in the end of the day, this was a failed experiment from the very beginning. And I hate to say it this way. I think we should have known from the time freaking Aaron Bradshaw and Doug McDaniel were the centerpieces of this roster. Now, granted, I didn't think it would be this bad, but we should have had some type of inkling it was going to be pretty putrid.
Yeah,
when those were the guys you were hinging your life on.
I'm looking at the net right now.
Don't do that.
I just want to put in perspective this loss to East Carolina. So Memphis lost by 16 to East Carolina. Where would you guess those two teams are in the net rankings?
Well past 200.
Memphis is 130 something, I think.
Memphis
Why?
is 131.
Why?
I have no idea. East Carolina is 10-18. They beat Memphis by 16 points. They are 260 in the net.
How is Memphis 130? Honestly, that blows my mind.
Because they started at 50. Like that. Like if you start at a certain point,
sucks.
Like if you start at a certain point, how low can you go? You could lose all your games, and there's a cap, there's a floor. You know how far you can fall.
That's silly.
They are. Memphis has always been a great home team under Penny. They've been really good at home. On the road, they've been pretty solid for the most part. Obviously, most of their slip-ups have come there, but they are 2-10 on the road. They have won 2 road games this season.
Road basketball's hard, Christian. Come on.
Yeah. I guess so.
And they're playing the number 1 team in the conference at home. They're going to get their ass kicked in that game. Then they're going to Tulane and playing freaking Ron Hunter, who's apparently his zone defense revolutionized. Like it could probably stop the Ukraine-Russia war. It's so devastating. Like because Penny doesn't know how to stop it. He's never known how to stop it. Like he's never known how to beat the Tulane zone. They're going to be in New Orleans playing Tulane to close out the season. They're going to lose that game. They're going to lose that game.
So
do you feel any worse? Do you feel any worse if they're 12-17 or if they're 12-19 and miss the conference tournament? Because
the loss to East Carolina I think I am like, this is the lowest I can feel this season.
Yeah,
truthfully, because a loss to South Florida and Tulane at this point is expected. I
agree.
East Carolina was just no energy, nothing at all that team did right. And then after the game, there's a couple of things. We'll wait on the what Penny had to say about himself and how he's treated, but we will discuss that at length. But there was one point where he was talking about Jordan Riley, who popped off for 31, and I want to give Jordan Riley credit. 31-12. He's been a good player for ECU all year. He's averages 24 points per game. Now, granted, it's on a lot of volume, and he is a shot chucker, but he went for 11 for 19 in this game. And Penny, after the game, was basically asked, like, what happened with Jordan Riley? He goes, well, they just didn't follow the game plan in trying to limit him. It's like, well, I guess no shit, but let's get in deeper as to what the hell happened. Like, how does a guy who scores 24 points per game get his shots off wherever he wants them, and mostly open for the most part from three whenever he got an opportunity from three? Like, I could not understand. Like, his answers are starting to get a little bit more thin. And then I don't know which part of this presser you have, Kenny, but I think we're all talking about the same thing here. Penny, after the game, basically addressed how he feels about the current situation, and you know, they're going to keep fighting all that. Go ahead and I want to give a big shout out to Parth Upadhyay. Like, let me tell you how a Daily Memphian beat reporter for the Memphis Tigers. Let me tell you how difficult it is to do a one-on-one post-game press conference with the head coach in a hallway in a facility in East Carolina. Like it, and he was the only reporter there, and he just talked to Penny for a good 10-15 minutes, asked him some really pretty tough questions, and this is what Penny had to say.
I feel like it's frustration, and they're taking it out on each other. And we just need the leadership that's on the court to just calm everything down and just do everything the right way. It just is what it is. There is no quitting this team. There's no quitting me. But it's like it's self-inflicted wounds that are hurting us so badly. And we just need to get over the hump with just one game. Maybe it's the next game against South Florida. I'll never quit. I'll never let my team quit. This team is not going to quit. We're gonna figure out how to get 2 wins, a win, something to give us some momentum to go into the tournament. I mean, I'm not going to throw my guys under the bus, but the record speaks for itself. Right
Here
now.
It comes.
Not competing, not winning games. And we just got to keep fighting, man. Honestly, anything can still happen. We just got to believe. Get 5-6 guys on the floor that believe that we can win, do the necessary things that they're being told to do, apply it, and just compete until you can't compete anymore. Raise your hand and then go come out. The next guy comes in and do the same thing. I'm a part of it, and I'm the leader, so I accept any kind of criticism. Just know I'm always going to fight, whatever's being said, because I don't really read a lot of it. Easy to kick me. I've been getting kicked since I've been here, but nothing has ever stopped me from fighting. And they won't either, because my belief is just what it is. This is all on me. Blame me, not on any player. I mean, honestly, I took this job because it was a dream job, right? We're in the heat of the battle right now. When adversity hits, I'm not rolling. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here for whatever I need to be here for. I'm never going to quit or give up. It's just, you can look ahead and go, this is one of the worst teams. This is, not going as planned. Penny's not coaching well. That's all fine. But you'll never, ever see me quit. You'll never see me give up. I respect everybody's opinion.
Man, cut it, Kenny. Please cut it. Like, I've had enough. I really have, man. It's the worst team in 56 years.
It made you turn your hat around.
Losses was in 1969 and 70. And, like, there's so many things in there that I really want to talk about. I guess we'll start at the very beginning. Right, where he basically did the same exact thing that not going to throw the players under the bus, but we just need 5 or 6 guys who really just put their effort out there and play for the city. Like, oh my God, I have heard that. I swear to God, 100+ times since he has been here through an 8-year period. And then I think the biggest thing I took issue with, guys, and I would imagine, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm sure you heard this. When he said, I've been getting kicked since I've been here, I know that there's some people in the comments that are going to chime in and say something stupid, okay? But at the end of the day, when Penny Hardaway took this job, yes, there were some national media members and coaches that really grinded their way to the top that took exception to how he got this job. Preferential treatment to a program legend, one of the better jobs in the country. How could you do that? AAU does not prepare you for this level of basketball, yada, yada, yada. So he got kicked a little bit at that point. But I will say this. The local fan base has been truthfully, and especially the media members have been truthfully nothing but forgiving to this guy on a consistent basis. Yes, there's criticism, but that comes with the territory, man. That's just what it is. You're at Memphis basketball. You're going to get criticized if you don't hold up your end of the bargain. And even with the bad years, the lean years, this year, I work at 92.9, so I can only speak on my guys there. Not one guy has literally said the words out of his mouth, Penny Hardaway should be fired. If he was named Christian Fowler, he would have been fired 4 years ago. So, I don't want to hear this, well, people have been kicking me since I got this job. Okay, sure, there's criticism that comes with not holding up your end of the bargain. But to sit there and act as if you have not been treated with kid gloves this entire time because of who you are and the persona you have within this city is just foolish. It really is. And I know there's a lot of Penny Hardaway fans that share that sentiment. I think it's been dumb from day one that he's treated differently. He's treated unfairly. He is treated overwhelmingly nicely by the local media. And I think there's a lot of people because, and I've felt this in my career when every time I bring a criticism up against Penny Hardaway, Kenny, you know about this stuff, man. Threats, people say shit to me, people go after me, they call me slurs, they say plenty of things to me. So that's why I feel like there has been this overwhelming sense of we're not going to call him out as firmly as we need to in the local media. But I'm tired of hearing that shit. I really am, because he's been treated with kid gloves almost as consistently as possible through 8 seasons. I don't know how any other way to put it.
I'll say this. I think one of the most insidious parts about it, Gabe, is that whenever, let's be honest here. There's 3 of us on this show right now as we're talking, right? Gabe is white, Christian is white, Kenny is white. And the majority of the conversation that happens when you do critique the media, Penny Hardaway, it turns into undertones of racial bias towards Penny Hardaway.
And it's the dumbest thing ever.
That because he's black, we don't want
Can't wait to run him out of here.
Can't wait to run him out of here. And here's the insinuation. Here's how it's made, Christian. Well, you didn't say this about Ryan Silverfield. Motherfucker, have you heard this show?
I played for the dude.
Gabe
I
played for him
every step of the way, man.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'll be honest. Gabe played with Ryan and had a really close relationship with Ryan. And there was times when he was saying stuff about Ryan that I was sitting there thinking I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even go that far.
Ryan, while he was here, texted me on multiple occasions, I don't agree with that. I remember the last time I tweeted about that. Remember it was going for two down 8 or whatever it was. Yeah. He texted me that night and said, "You're full of shit." He told me to my face that I was full of shit. But I criticized him for it because that's my job. That's what you do. Yeah. That's how this shit works.
Ryan Silverfield got crushed in the media way more than Penny Hardaway in 8 years has been crushed. Dude, that man, let's keep it frank for a second here. We can sit here and say Ryan Silverfield was a disappointment as a coach at the University of Memphis because he didn't win the conference. But that man won a lot of games. And guess what? He didn't put the fucking program on probation with the NCAA 7 times in 8 years. There's a difference here. The levels of kid gloves that Penny Hardaway has been treated by the Memphis media, because there is a fear of listen, man,
we're gonna run him out.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And
Dude, there have been literal, actual repercussions with the Memphis fan base for talking about Penny Hardaway in any negative way, any negative light over these last 7 to 8 years. And you don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you, man, go ask any media member in this city about when they've criticized Penny and the responses they've gotten. They'll tell you the same exact thing.
Yep. Yeah. Going back to the clip real quick, and then we'll move on to Memphis football. Couple of things. I've never seen Penny, and if you watch that point blank, like you wouldn't think he's really distraught necessarily, but Penny is as flatline, even keel as they come. Like you don't. I say that. There's been times when he's gotten fired up. We know the Rick Barnes stuff. We know, was it Jeff Calkins that
quit asking me stupid fucking questions? Yeah.
Like he's gotten fired up at times, but I don't know. That felt different to me. I've sat in a lot of Penny Hardaway press conferences. I've talked to him a lot of times, you know, in these interview type settings and stuff, and never seen him feel just like hopeless, helpless.
Yeah.
So that was weird to see how just like distraught he was.
He was basically coming up with ideas on the fly of what needs to happen for them to get out of this.
He feels panicked. He feels panicked.
But then the other thing, like if you listen to that, what's strange is he kind of keeps going back and forth on, like he takes the responsibility, and then he's like, we just need to get players that listen and do the right things, and then he takes responsibility, and then he's like, I'm not going to throw the players under the bus, and then he's like, but we need to get people that understand the game plan and know what they're doing. So it's this really weird like tug of war of like, it's their fault, it's my fault, it's their fault, it's my fault, which I can't imagine the frustration that you got to be feeling with your team being 12 and 17 and having this terrible of a year. But I don't know why you can't just, like he threw his hands up and was like, look, put it all on me. I don't know why you can't just do that from the beginning instead of trying to.
I don't really get the I'm not going to blame it on the players, but because when you say but after that, you're blaming it on the players. Telling us you're going to blame it on the players.
Yes. Yeah, he's literally like, we just need to get people on the floor that know what they're doing and understand the game plan and listen to what we're saying. I don't know. It's just been a cataclysmic failure this year.
Let me ask you this. Let's go to some comments real quick. JJ in the comment section, shout out to you for being on the show. But to the Penny point, if Memphis is a basketball community and understand the new landscape of college athletics, they would see its holes in the basketball situation. He's not a bad coach. He has a slaw roster.
I do not think that Penny Hardaway is a bad coach.
I don't think so.
I have adamantly praised Penny as a head coach, even when like national media was like, he doesn't know how to coach, all this stuff. Penny knows how to coach.
He knows basketball.
But he also put this roster together.
Yeah.
He put together a bad roster that he can't coach because they're not good enough to coach. They're not good enough.
They're not getting funded like they once were, and I can acknowledge that. That doesn't mean that they're not getting 3 to 4 times the money of South Florida, and of Charlotte, and of Tulane.
What if I told you that this Memphis roster costs more than last year's Memphis roster that went to the NCAA tournament first?
I would believe you, but I also think that needs context, right?
Yeah,
because I think this year with revenue sharing, price of the bag went up too.
No, I'm just 100% it did. But what I'm saying is that the idea that they're not funded the appropriate amount, they are funded as much, if not more, than what they have been over the last few years.
Did you see the revenue sharing numbers for the last fiscal year?
What was it, 11 million,
brother?
They're only 9. They're only 9 away from the full cap, bro. That's crazy.
As a
mid-major
group of 6 mid-major team. That's really, really good.
I want to say this. Shout out to Ed Scott for putting that out there. That took some. That is like.
Well, because he's I would imagine Ed Scott is sick and tired of the excuses
they don't have money
thrown out there, man, that we talked about way early in the season.
They got money, bro. They got money, bro.
They got plenty of money, and that basketball situation is funded. Now, I can acknowledge when Penny took this job, he's competing with Bill Self and beating out, John Calipari for recruits. We ain't getting enough money to do that. That ain't happening. But at the same time, you have to adjust on the fly, deal with the circumstances as they come to you. I don't think he's done a good job of handling that.
You have plenty of resources to win the American and go to the tournament. And I'm not talking about the conference tournament. I'm talking about you have enough money to win the American and go to the NCAA tournament. not to be at a point where you could potentially not even play in the conference tournament.
It's different. This is a different dynamic. Like, this is not like when it not like finishing second or third in the American. This is you are almost about to not qualify for the actual postseason tournament for your conference.
Yeah,
like
and I mean, if they were second and third in the second or third in the conference, like I'm sure there would still be some criticism.
100%
because they should be the best team in the conference. But it wouldn't be the sky is falling, because it's like, look, okay, they can still go win the conference tournament. They could still get a tournament bid through that, because at the end of the day, if they were in that position, they probably would have the most talent in the conference. This is just completely different. I mean, they're 12-17, could finish the season 12-19 and not make the conference tournament.
I mean, we're finally giving up on they have the most talented roster in the American.
Yeah,
it took a while for people to drop that. And we've dropped that, right?
Yeah,
like,
you have
gone.
I
guess the real question is,
as I normally do.
I guess the real question is, has Penny Hardaway given up that this is the second best roster he's ever assembled? Right? I remember him saying that, and Roman calling me and being like, hey, bro.
Well, you know what I've noticed, man? When Penny doesn't promise shit in the offseason, it generally turns out okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's tournament or not, you're winning 20-some-odd games, you're in the fight, you're a bubble team at the very least. When he starts promising a bunch of shit, a lot of shit's going to, a bunch of stuff's going to hit the fan. You just know it.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly talk some Memphis football. Schedule dropped. So we'll talk some Memphis football real quick, and we'll move on to the hot three.
Sorry, this is kind of a weird look. I don't know how to fix this, guys. It looks really small. Can everybody see that?
For those that haven't seen it or are not watching on YouTube, schedule as follows: UNLV, Arkansas State, Boise State, UT Martin, Charlotte, UAB, Tulane, ECU, Army, South Florida, Navy, Temple. Gabe, I kind of want to have the same conversation that we had on your show today. I think you presented me with a really good question, and doing the podcast and the radio show together gives us an opportunity to flip it, because I talk the whole time on the radio show. I get to hear your opinion on here. So what you asked me was having UNLV and Boise State.
Timeout. I know for a fact you don't talk on Gabe's show as much as you say you do. I know Gabe Kuhn. That man talks on his show.
Yeah, Gabe, man. I make it a habit of just, I talk too much.
Gabe gives me the floor on this show.
Let's get on the pod. I'm sorry, dude. I have diarrhea.
He's got so many ideas in his head.
He's got to get it all out, man.
It's all up here, man. I got to get it out.
Gabe, I couldn't think of a better place for you to talk than on this show right here. Let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So Gabe asked me, with UNLV and Boise State in 2 of the first 3 weeks of the season. Those are 2 teams who have been very competitive in the group of 6, or looked at pretty highly in the group of 6. Boise State more so than UNLV, but they've been more relevant the past several years. So for Memphis, how important are those first 2 of 3 games? It's the beginning of the Charles Huff era. It's an opportunity to vault yourself into that national conversation, because you got to think, if you start out 3-0 beating UNLV, Arkansas State, and Boise State, you're in the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat for that playoff spot. Obviously, you're extending the season very early, but with almost a completely new roster, with a new head coach, how important are those 2 games, even though they're not conference games?
They're vitally important, and I'll give you a couple reasons why. One, I want to see how well Charles Huff can turn around a roster and get them ready to go immediately, because that's a week 0 game against UNLV. They're going to have to start camp a week early to be able to have all of their stuff installed and their quarterback ready to go by that game. So I think it'll be a very, very good sort of litmus test of how good he is as a coach to have them ready for that matchup off the top of the year on the road in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. I mean, that'll be a really good time. And then I think the most important part of it is Memphis has the chance, or really I think is the point of data for the group of 6 this year. And what I mean by that is they have a chance to make a case for the American Conference in 2 of those first 3 games. UNLV's in the Mountain West, Boise State's in the newly built Pac-12. Memphis can set the table for the rest of the American and still sort of stay on top of that conversation. The American would stay on top of that conversation if Memphis is able to win both of these games. Now, we'll see how that ultimately looks. I feel really good about what Charles Huff brought in this season. But that's what I'm interested about in those first two of those first 3 games is they have a chance to really set the tone for the American against the other group of 6 sort of, stories. Because I would imagine Boise State going to probably be favored.
Yes.
In the new Pac-12, UNLV definitely going to be favored in the Mountain West.
Yes.
So, and Memphis will be somewhere near the top, so they can really set the tone for the American Conference, and I think that's important when we're talking about the access to the college football playoff that's still there.
I have a question that I wanted to ask, and this is a conversation that Trey Lasley and I had on Tigers on Tap last week, and I just you guys are both football guys, and obviously, Gabe, you played for the University of Memphis, so I think this is a relevant conversation for you too. Like, I'm having to really I am as excited about Memphis football season as I've ever been, right? Like we got a ways to go before it happens, but I am super amped up about what's about to happen because everything that I'm seeing coming out of the Memphis football locker room right now is like top tier, A1, everything is great. Like it is the stuff they're putting out, the things that they're saying, even the players that they got, the high level players, I guess the A1 players are really good. I think they're going to be really good in the American. But my expectations, bro, like I don't know what to expect. This is everything is brand new, right? Like, and so I'm having to should I temper my expectations on what I think this team could look like? Because is it crazy to me to think that he could come in with a brand new roster, brand new everything, a brand new school, everything, having to basically build this thing, roster wise and like internally wise from the ground up? Can they win the conference? Is it crazy? Like, can they?
I mean,
it's
Chris,
in the
we
range
had
of
this conversation
possibility.
about what the expectation should be. I'll let you roll.
I mean, to me, I think it's in the range of outcomes. Absolutely, I don't think you can discount it or say, oh, it's the first time he's coached at Memphis. He's taken a step up in competition. Like, there's no way. I don't think you can say that because I think he did bring in a lot of talent, and I think he is a coach that can set a culture and change a program. Obviously, we've had that discussion before. He doesn't have to change Memphis. He has to accelerate them to being in conference championship games and winning conference championships. So I don't think it's out of the possibility by any means. I think the roster is probably good enough. I think Charles Huff is a good enough coach, but at the same time, for all the reasons that you mentioned, this is an entirely new roster. This is an entirely new coaching staff. This is the foundation year, right? This is Charles Huff setting the foundation, setting the culture, and sometimes that can take longer than others. Now, fortunately, we are in this transfer portal era where he gets to bring a lot of his culture with him. I cannot overstate the importance of that. I'm going to give a massive example. Don't think I'm comparing the two, but I think it does relate. Look at Indiana. Where did a vast majority of that roster come from? James Madison.
You're right.
But that culture was set, that foundation was set. And if you listen to those guys talk, even though it wasn't all the James Madison players that were the best players on the team per se, they were the leaders of that team. If you listen to people talk about it,
that's really
they are the ones they're the ones that set the foundation. They're the ones that set that culture up. And so if Charles Huff's culture is as good as Ed Scott believes and as good as I think most Memphis fans right now believe, then those players that came from Southern Miss will get everyone else in line and say, look, this is the way that we do things. Yeah. And I think that I haven't heard that talked about very much, but I do think that's very important because it's not a first year head coach at a school that's having to go, I don't know anyone here as far as players. What was it, 20 something players they brought from Southern Miss? A good portion of a fourth or a fifth of this scholarship roster. He knows them. He's coached them, and he wouldn't have brought those players if they didn't understand the way that he wanted things done. So I think there is a range about all that to say. I think there is a range of outcomes. I think being in the conference championship, winning the conference championship is in it. but I also think 8 or 9 wins is on the table as well.
Wow.
And I don't know. Is that a disappointment? I don't know how you quantify that. I mean, obviously, if it's year 6 of a coach or year 7 of a coach like Silverfield and you win 8 games, that's a massive disappointment. But with the first-year head coach at Memphis completely retooling everything, I don't think 8 or 9 wins is a failure.
It's not bad at all.
I don't think it's what you want necessarily. Like, you're not over the moon about it, but you go, okay, now we have something to build off of.
I feel pretty positive about the future if he gets to 8 and 9 wins this year.
Yeah,
because look at the schedule, guys. It's UNLV, Boise State, Tulane, South Florida, Navy, all on the road. Like that's not easy in year 1 to deal with. And
I hate
the thing.
I hate
the first 3 games being what they are. Like there is that opportunity and tough thing. And I know he's a good motivator, so that's like something that I think he could get over. But like if you started 1 and 2, like discouragement could creep in, man, because you have higher expectations, higher goals for yourself. Now, granted, even if you lose to UNLV at Boise State, that's still on the table, like winning a conference championship, all that. But I think 8-9 wins with a chance in the late season to will yourself into a conference championship is what you should be asking from him. Now, I do want to bring this up because I brought this up with Christian, and I feel like it's a really, really interesting point. When we look at Charles Huff and Memphis, this is probably the most stable, serious, what's the word? Provable.
As you said, data, right? You said,
you know what Charles Huff is, right? He's done it at Marshall. He's done it at Southern Miss. Whereas we look around the rest of the conference, the big players all switch jobs.
Yes.
You have Neil Brown at North Texas. He failed at West Virginia. Is he going to have the same motivation? I hate coaches that drop back down. You have Will Hall at Tulane, who Charles Huff had to fix the shit he messed up when he was at Southern Miss last year. And then you have Brian Hartline, who I love, and he could be he could be unbelievable. He's a great recruiter, really good offensive mind. So like he could be awesome. But you know what? He hadn't coached a game as a head coach. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. So it's like on one hand, I think 8 to 9 wins. And a chance to get in the conference championship and win one is great. But when you look around the rest of the conference, like I can look at Memphis and say that makes the most sense for a team that I'm going to pick that I have data points on. At least I think I have some data points on from Charles Huff and the players that they brought in and the players that he brought from Southern Miss. I have an idea of what that is as opposed to these other situations, North Texas, Tulane, South Florida. Yeah. Right. So that's the case I would make for expectations should be just what they were last year. Go win a conference championship.
Yep.
But again, 8-9, stay in the fight for the conference title game.
Yep. All right, boys. Well, let's take a quick break. Get to the hot 3 on the other side. We will talk some NFL free agency, some NFL combine, and some Grizzlies news. So just a minute. We'll be back with the hot 3.
Tired of the same old fast food? The soggy fries, the frozen flavors, the meals that never quite hit right. Head over to Waldo's Chicken and Beer, where everything starts fresh and flavor comes first. Our chicken is fried in rich beef tallow for that bold, old-school crunch you can actually taste. And don't skip the premium homemade southern sides. Fresh greens, hearty white beans, and creamy mac and cheese made to complete the meal. Bring your whole family. There's plenty of space to relax. Plus a game room the kids will love. Catch the game on big screens, grab a drink at the full bar, and enjoy happy hour specials. Every day from 3 to 6, all day on Tuesday and Sunday. Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Real food, real flavor, made from scratch.
I have been more on the side of we need to keep Pip. I have been more on the side of we need to keep him because as far as like having those vets, I feel like Pip's that guy. And he's a guy that we developed He's been through the ropes. Like, if anyone can give young guys struggling to find playing time, to find a role, it's Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, he's kind of one of us. Like, I don't think we need to let him go. So I guess in a way, I'll just kind of answer my own like complaint. Really, it's like we kind of have Scottie Pippen Jr., who is that guy and does still perform, does still play, has played G League, has worked his way through the ranks. If anyone has a chip on his shoulder, it's that guy with the name on the back of his jersey for sure. You know?
Which is why I'm not big on we got to go get Darius Acuff or even Christian Anderson, who I also like from Texas Tech, or LeBaron Fallon from Alabama. Like, I'm okay with platooning a point guard of Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome, and Cam Spencer and just seeing what you have. Let's go fill some of those other needs. And I'm okay with keeping Scottie Pippen Jr. He's one of our enforcers. He's tough. He plays super hard. He's already shown what he can do.
Tune into the 2 Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. I will call out the argument that Penny Hardaway has had 7 great seasons with the University of Memphis and had 1 bad season. Number one, on its face, he's not had 7 great seasons with the University of Memphis. He's had 1. Last year was a good season, and they still lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. What happened to the standards of Memphis Tiger fans that you're willing to say, like, not even have the conversation? Like, not even have the conversation about Penny Hardaway's future at Memphis because he's Penny. Okay, great. He's Penny Hardaway. That's great. Like, yes. His impact will never be denied here in this city. But what happened to Memphis Tiger fans' standards of like where this is, like what this team is going to look like? I said this a few days ago. If you're willing to accept mediocrity, then continue to be on the Penny Hardaway train because that's what you've gotten from him. Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Some dreams don't just come true, they come with 4 paws. At Puppy Dreams, we match loving families with happy, healthy puppies. From playful companions to lifelong best friends, your perfect match is waiting. And with our professional grooming spa, your pup will look as amazing as they feel. Visit Puppy Dreams today and meet the one who's been waiting just for you. I'd like to apologize for putting the wrong commercial.
You don't have to apologize. Those were the cutest puppies I've ever seen. I was about to shed a tear over here.
Yeah,
I might have to go make my puppy dreams come true.
Make your puppy dreams come
and
true.
by the way, hey, tell Anthony Sane share some of that Waldo's. Bro.
Yeah, that looked.
He was bashing over there in that booth.
I wish we were still at the old.
I need some of that Waldo's money. What's up?
I wish we were still at the old studio because I don't get out to Cordova much, but that was right by the old studio.
I went out there and shot that commercial, and they fed us really, really well out there. And let me tell you, man, the chicken and waffles is like my favorite. I love chicken and waffles. Their chicken and waffles is unbelievable. Like it is so good. Their chicken is so good, unbelievable. Anyway, shout out to Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Y'all go check it out. All right, let's get to the hot 3. You boys ready?
Let's do it,
sir.
First one up. Let's go NFL free agency. Let's talk free agency here. It's getting pretty hot and hectic out there in the NFL. What are some of the teams, like what are some of the guys? I've read an article today about some of the hottest NFL free agents. Who do you think are the guys that are going to get paid the most in the NFL this offseason in free agency?
Well, I'll bring up a name first and foremost where I think we could have an interesting discussion, Christian.
I got a sneaky
bring
one.
Up a name. I want to bring up a quarterback name first, and I want to get our thoughts. Malik Willis. Where
exactly
really? I did some digging on Spot Track to look up his market value, And right now, Spotrac has him slated for 2 years, $71 million, $35 million per year. And it's kind of funny. Like, I do think he did a good job filling in for Jordan Love with Matt LaFleur. But at the same time, there are probably – I saw Kurt Warner put this out there when he was reviewing the film of Malik Willis. He said there are basically like 28 dropbacks where he could really get anything from him the past 2 years. Yet this is a guy that's probably wanted on the open market by more than one quarterback needy team.
Yeah.
I want to know your real thoughts on this dude, because he is an intriguing prospect in the sense that he is decent size. He's decently athletic. He showed some accuracy the past 2 years under Matt LaFleur that I had never seen from him before. And it's hard for me to just sit here and blame the Titans thing not working out for him. It was a bad situation. Yeah. And it never really got better for him. The offensive line was decrepit and getting old. And then the outside, they didn't have any wide receivers. Run game struggled. And you had Will Levitt. It was just a weird situation for him, so I can't really blame it on him. But at the same time, I guess the question from me would be, do we think that this guy is going to be a top half solid starter in the National Football League, depending on where he lands?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last sentence is the most important depending on where he lands. I think the infrastructure has to be in place, much like it was in Green Bay. And I'm sure he's made I know he's made a lot of improvements since his time with the Titans. Just by watching him, the confidence is there. He's an incredible running quarterback. And not to put him in a box, but he's among the elite. Like, he's up there with Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson. He's up there in the upper echelon of rushing quarterbacks. And honestly, just from, I think it was 6 starts that he had in Green Bay, maybe, or that might be his whole career. But anyway, I think the 6 starts I saw somewhere, he's improved a lot as a passer to a point where I would say he should be better than Justin Fields was last year with the Jets. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that. But I think you have to have a plan in place for him. And it doesn't mean there has to be elite weapons, right? Green Bay had a lot of solid options, but they didn't have an elite number 1 receiver. He's got to go somewhere where they're willing to mold the system around him, because he at least seemingly, Matt LaFleur was able to hide some of those deficiencies that he may still have as a passer. Like you said with Kurt Warner, 28 dropbacks where you're able to really say, okay, is he reading the field? Is he finding the open guy? Is he going through his progression? All those things. But I like Malik Willis a lot. I really, really liked what I saw out of him in Green Bay. He was very impressive. So if he goes to a bad team with a bad offensive line and no weapons, I think he'll be okay, but I don't think he's going to take a team over the top. But if he goes to a team where infrastructure is in place and there is a good offensive line and they do have some kind of weaponry as far as receivers and running backs and tight ends, I think he can have success in the NFL. I think he can be a really solid starter in the NFL. It just can't be with any team and with any coach.
Well, you're getting really specific of what infrastructure that he would need to be successful. What team is that? Because
I think I know exactly.
Arizona just announced Kyler Murray's getting released.
I don't think it's Arizona. The team Arizona. Any quarterback in this market should want to go to is the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's the one you look at. But is Malik Willis going to be able to trump a Kyler Murray that you can pay anything to?
I don't think so.
Know? So, because he's proven. He's the proven version of Malik Willis, except a little shorter.
He's a little shorter.
Those type of things. And we don't know if Kevin O'Connell's okay with a 5'10" quarterback. I think there's a lot of, as much as we may not want to admit it, there's a lot of NFL franchises who are not going to get in the business of a 5'9", 5'10" quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But Kyler Murray also, as D Meeks threw out there, he's going to get released on the first day of the league year. Mm-hmm. It's another free agent I would look at as very, very interesting.
I agree, because same thing. If he goes to the right place, if he goes to Minnesota, he's gonna. I think he takes off.
Yes,
I really do.
But can I say this? This is gonna sound ridiculous. I look at the Jets. Okay, let me just say that.
Okay.
And what I would tell you is the offensive situation is not as bad as we make it on the surface.
No.
Their offensive line is young and growing into themselves. They have Garrett Wilson coming off of injury. Breece Hall's a 1,000-yard back. They just tagged him. Adonai Mitchell is a young wide receiver that could grow into something. Like you have some okay things. And what I would say to Kyler Murray is Aaron Glenn is very clear. I think it's pretty clear with the signing of Justin Fields last offseason is he wants a guy who has dual threat ability. So maybe they would be willing to throw a bag at him to see if it could work out. And what I would say to Kyler Murray is if they give you a short-term deal and it's for a decent amount of money, you could still prove yourself with the Jets. You win 6 games with the Jets. Like you may be wanted by the time next time you get to unrestricted free agency.
Yeah.
You may prove people. I don't want him in that situation. I'm just saying I don't think while people would say that may be the worst thing in the world, I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world for a Kyler Murray.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you there, but if I'm Malik Willis or Kyler Murray and I have the option to go to Minnesota, I'm going.
Yes.
And
because they want to win now. They're taking themselves serious.
Yeah. And D-Meeks pointed out too, Pittsburgh will potentially be an option if Aaron Rodgers doesn't return. Yeah. I don't know how excited I'd be to go to Pittsburgh, but I say that Mike McCarthy I think is a lot better offensively than Arthur Smith. But the other option they pointed out is the Colts, and they haven't made a decision on Daniel Jones
yet.
They
just tagged him. They gave him transition tag.
So they did transition tag? Okay.
Yeah, 37 mil. 37.8 mil. Generational bag getter. Take a guess. Over under $140 million for his career.
Way over.
159 million.
Yeah. Yeah. His contract, his second contract.
Google AI. If you type in Daniel Jones on Google AI, it says reports say that he is a generational bag getter. I'm like, that's not a joke. That's what Google AI tells you.
It's true. It is not false at all. But yeah, I think there's a couple interesting options out there. I will be interested to see who goes to the Jets because I don't know. And we also, this one's not very appealing either, but the Dolphins are still out there. And they're going to move on from Tua in some way. They keep trying to say that there's trade interest. There's not. They're going to have to release him. And I'm curious to see if they really are just going to roll with Quinn Ewers and dump this season, or if they're going to try to get a Kyler Murray or Malik Willis or who knows, maybe even like a Kirk Cousins. I have no idea.
I'm a team that I think we should look at as like a dark horse for a reclamation project is the Los Angeles Rams, though, too.
Yeah.
And I know we've been keeping our eyes on them for a couple of years with Matt Stafford, but Matt Stafford just won an MVP, and it just looks like he's not slowing down, but he may retire before it's all said and done. Any quarterback that gets to go work with Sean McVay and under Matt Stafford for a couple of years may be able to step in and immediately start producing once they get the keys. So that's another one I would look at is like if these guys have their long-term outlook in their brains and not just like a short-term money grab, the Rams may be an interesting landing spot for one of these dudes.
Yeah, I agree.
What are y'all's in terms of the free agency? It looks like top 10 in the free agent is mostly defensive guys that are
Trey Hendrickson hit it today.
Yep. Right. Trey Henderson is like in on this list that I'm looking at, they say Trey Henderson is by far the biggest free agent out there right now.
Yes.
31 years old, defender off the edge, deep toolbox. 17.5 sacks, 65 pressures.
2 years in a row, 17.5 sacks.
Where do y'all think, like, what team looks at him? I mean, he's with the Bengals right now, but like, what team is going after him? You think? I mean,
Buffalo's got to be up there. Dallas
I think a lot of teams will look at him. Buffalo really comes to mind. I'm glad you brought that up off the top because they need some defensive line help.
They have needed it for years.
But I will also say this for Buffalo. I think they should focus on their interior defensive line because they just don't.
And their wide receivers.
Yeah, that too. But like Ed Oliver, I love Ed Oliver, as we've established, even though he kicked my ass when we were in college.
Player you ever played against?
You were the coach. You were the coach
off like a foot off the ground. I don't know what you want me to do with that, dude. Like I had good hips back in the day. I didn't have that good of hips.
Sorry, was it who was the strongest? Was it Ed or was it Matt Ioannidis?
Ioannidis was definitely the strongest. Ed Oliver was like the toughest to block because he fired off like 2 inches off the ground because he's 5'10".
Yeah,
but that's also the reason that They gave him big money, but it's like, I don't know if he can do everything that you're asking him to do. He's a piercing defensive lineman who can make havoc plays and get after the passer, but can he really play the run? Not really. So you need somebody on the inside. But I think that Trey Hendrickson would make a lot of sense there. But like you look around the NFL, I think every NFL team's looking for an edge who can get you 17.5 sacks, man.
Yeah, Lion. Everybody's
and then you have to bring the question up also for Las Vegas. If they do, I don't see a world and how they do it, but if they did trade Max Crosby, then Trey Hendrickson would have to be on their market too.
Yep, for sure.
So, I don't know.
All right, we talked about topic number 2. We talked about the combine last week. It happened. Who are the biggest combine winners and losers, and why was the winner Taylon Green?
The winner, the real winner was Sonny Styles.
Yes, the
winner
from the Ohio State University.
Yeah, Sonny Styles, 43.5-inch vertical, 11'2" broad jump, 4.46 40 at 6'5", 245 pound inside linebacker.
Dude, that is dumb.
Yeah.
Can we be honest? There's so many winners, though. Chris, we talked about this today. I think in my lifetime, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, I'm not trying to go overboard. This was the most athletic combine. I'm not saying this is the best class, NFL draft class. It's not what I'm saying. Most athletic combine in 7 or 8 separate position groups. If you take the mean 40-yard dash, it was first all time.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are like the developmental processes and developmental, staffs at these big colleges and at the college level now. They are so freaking good. And everybody's got a dietitian, Everybody's got like a skill trainer. Like everybody's got so much at their disposal now. And I think that's why you're seeing the fruits of that labor now.
Yeah, I'll just give some. Obviously, Sonny Styles up there. Taylon Green, who Kenny brought up, 4.3 640, just absurd.
6'43.5",
43.5
highest for quarterback ever.
Just nuts, crazy numbers. Mike Washington, the running back from Arkansas, 4.33 at his size is impeccable.
Really.
Why was Arkansas so ass when they had
their defense was terrible?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
Jeremiah Love, 4.36.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love with a 4.36.
He looked good. He looked good running that 40, bro. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
David Bailey ran a 4.5.
Brennan Thompson, 4.26.
Brennan Thompson was blazing. Arvell Reese had a great combine. Like there was a lot of guys.
Lorenzo Styles, Sonny Styles' brother who played safety at Ohio State, 4.27. Man, like there were so many dudes that won. And, like, there's very few that lost. Like, when you look at losers, I think most people would point to Reuben Bain because of his measurements, but I don't know how fair that is because I think the tape tells a different story.
Yeah. I think Cardinal Tate running a 4.53, even though speed's not his game, no one expected him to run, like, in the 4.3s or anything like that. I think teams will be like, can he separate? But there's a lot of examples now that say you don't have to be the fastest guy. Puka Nacua is a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I think he ran a 4.57. So,
but a 4.5, the only reason it looked bad for Cardinal Tate is because everybody else was running in the 4.4s and 4.3s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just it was kind of an unfair year for Cardinal Tate to be judged, but I don't think he'll fall or anything because of that.
No,
I think 4.5 was good enough for his skill set for people to understand who he's a route runner, brother. That's what he is. So it's like I don't think anybody's discouraged by a 4.5. If it was 4.7, sure.
Yeah. Another one that I think was a little bit slower than expected, who's a projected first rounder, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety from Toledo. I think he ran like a 4.53, 4.52 also. But safety isn't necessarily one of those positions where you have super elite speed. But he did not test as well overall as people expected.
You want to know my biggest winner though, in all reality? Obviously Sonny Styles. Let's leave him out of this. He's obviously the biggest winner because that might have been the best combine performance I've ever seen. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon, their tight end, 6'3", 250.
4.39?
And he was there in like production matches, right? Production, he caught 500 some odd yards.
He was number 1 tight end.
He was their best receiver down the stretch of the season because DeCorian Moore was out, Evan Stewart was out the entire year. Dante Moore was just force feeding him down the stretch of the season. 4.39 best for tight ends. 11.2 broad, tied 3rd all time for tight ends. jumped 43.5 inches in the air, second all time among tight ends. If it weren't for Eli Stowers, who jumped 45.5 inches and broke the combine record this year.
Yeah.
So like
as a tight end,
Kenyon Sadiq. When you go look at him on film, I swear to God, please go watch him, man. It blows my mind that I didn't see this earlier. His play speed matches. It really does.
Yeah.
Like he can run out of the slot on safeties and burn them down the field. Like run away from them down the field.
Yeah.
Like it's that move tight end on steroids with him. I think he has a unbelievable pass catching upside at the next level.
Yeah,
like
the only like tight end combine comp I can even think of is Evan Ingram.
Sure, and that's really not that close.
Really, yeah, I think he ran like a 4.4 or something like that.
Right. Okay, maybe it's somewhat close,
but still 4.39 for a 241-pound tight end is just ridiculous. Another crazy. Sneaky one, Gabe, and then we'll move on. Caden Proctor, I think he moved up a little bit. I mean, he dropped, I think, 14 or 15 pounds. He moved. We talked about it last week. The way that he moves at his size is so impressive.
The acceleration on his pulls and getting out in the open field is silly. Two more things. Two more. Sorry, I don't want to take too much time. But Ty Simpson, I thought, helped himself a lot with his throwing session. Probably had the best throw of the day. It's like a deep corner route that he just ripped. Brother. Like perfect placement.
Laid it in there.
It was awesome. And then we do have a Memphis guy that we need to discuss. Travis Burke, 6'9", or 6'8" 3/4, 34.25-inch arms, 83 wing, ran a 5.17 at 40 at the combine, jumped 27 inches in the air, 8'11" broad, 27 and 8'11" broad for a guy who is 6'8" 3/4 and 315 pounds. I can tell you right now, it's pretty damn good. And we did get a question from D Meeks. Where do you feel that he will get drafted? I think his range is somewhere 3 through 6 because you can't teach that size. And with his size, he had to sort of grow into it. When he was, I think he went somewhere 1AA, and then he ended up at Florida International. He was filling out his frame that entire time. And then by the time he got to Memphis, here he is at 315. So, like, guys that are filling out their frame at that size usually don't have a great center of gravity, and they're not great run blockers. He was a people mover. In his arms, his length, his athleticism can be more than enough at the right tackle position to pass protect. So I think he is one of those guys that people are going to look at as an upside play in the middle rounds. I would lean to day 3, like 4 through 6, round 4 through 6. But I think he has upside to potentially be late day 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people say UDFA. I've seen 6th round. I've seen some people saying that teams could take flyers on him earlier, but I think
he's hard to pin down, to be honest.
He is, but I think he'll probably be a mid-range day 3 guy. I think he'll be like somebody will jump on him probably in the 6th.
Like if you told me to drop on one round for him, I probably would go late 5th.
Yeah, I mean the size is going to be
size, man.
Yeah,
you can sit here and try to poke holes in somebody's game all you want. 6'8" 3/4 really does a lot of talking.
Yes.
Just like Markel Bell at Miami. He ran a 5.36. People were laughing at how slow he looked out there. Yeah, he's still 6'9", 345. I promise you he gets picked before you think he does.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've covered this Memphis football team since 2018, and I'm telling you this. I don't know much about offensive line technique and like all that kind of stuff. I'll leave that to you two. Travis Burke was mean.
He was always on top of somebody.
Bro, he was always mean. He was so mean. Like he would just manhandle dudes and like bury them 6 feet under into the ground, like put them on the ground and then start digging and then put them even further.
He had so many knockdowns in Arkansas, I lost count. It was on pass protection too. Yeah. These dudes are trying to retrace and he's just taking his big ass and just landing right on top of him.
Interesting. All right, last topic. It was announced, the Grizzlies announced this week that Zach Edey would have to have one more surgery on that surgically repaired ankle, effectively keeping him out for the rest of the season, which I don't think anybody's surprised the fact that Zach Edey's not coming back. A lot of folks were concerned. A lot of folks weren't. Where are you guys at on this? Are you concerned that Zach Edey needs another ankle surgery before he can get out there and play again?
I think you have to be a little bit.
I'm nervous. I can't lie. 7'4", 300 pounds. He's got a lot. Like, I know he stayed healthy at Purdue, but there's a lot of mileage.
Yep.
On that dude. 4-year player, 2-time National Player of the Year, played 30+ minutes a game or minutes a night every night.
Yeah.
Like, that does concern me, but at the same time, I always expected him to miss the rest of the year. And this, like, they used so many medical terms that we have to go to Rusty Witten. But I even think Rusty was like, okay, what does this shit mean? You guys are just making shit up at this point. I felt there was always going to be an update of, okay, we're going to go in there and clean something up, and he's going to be on the shelf for the rest of the year. And I'm okay with that. I'd resigned myself to the fact that he wasn't going to play another meaningful game or play a game for the Grizzlies the rest of the year. But being that it's another surgery on the same ankle for a 7'4" guy, I think everyone has to have at least a mild amount of concern.
Yeah.
I think what Rusty was saying in his Twitter thread about it was that it's not the same tendon. It's not so he's not a it's not a re-injury.
Not the same laxity.
Right. Thank you for using that word. Yes. Not the same laxity. It's more so sometimes you have to readjust the belt, if that makes sense. Like if you go up underneath the car, you readjust it too tight, you got to go back in and maybe tighten up another one just to make it run. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Brother, all I know is I played on 2 high ankle sprains most of my career at the University of Memphis. I can't relate. I don't know about this shit, man. I took some Toradol and,
moved along.
Toradol, baby.
My life. I can't tell you about the bilateral tannel bone.
You just said my shit hurts, bro.
Something with the oid bone, whatever, It's too much for me, man. And I swear to God, they just spoke in they wrote that PR update in such uncertain terms, so everybody would just, I guess,
drop it
and try to. Okay, this is above my pay grade. They know what they're doing. Like that's kind of what they tried to do.
The juxtaposition between a Zach Edey PR statement about what's going on with him to Ja Morant's, he's feeling discomfort. Like, that's all we got.
He's still sore, guys.
He's still sore. His elbow has an owie. Like,
that is so funny. That's a good point. They're like, Ja Morant's still sore. We'll reevaluate in 2 weeks. And I bet in 2 weeks they're like, still sore. 2
more weeks.
And then they're like, the lateral discomfort of the deltoid channel bone. It's like, oh my God. All right, guys.
All right.
We get it. He's going to be out the rest of the year. You could just said that.
Yep. Just say that.
All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. If you are watching on YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and comment there. If you're listening via podcast, whether that's Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, you can do the same there. Once again, we appreciate you guys for joining us, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.